Alright, let me start off by saying I'm going to be reading off a script for this video, so I apologize if I sound robotic at any point, but there's a lot of stuff to cover and I don't want to forget anything. This video is going to be a guide to the strategy that I used to hit 700 power week 1 of Joker's Wild. There really is no rush currently to hit 700 power, but here's a guide for those who would like some tips and tricks for leveling to 700 and for the next season when we will go from 700 to 750. A few of the things that I will be referencing will be from my Joker's Wild prep guide video. If you haven't checked it out yet, I would definitely recommend doing so, because I believe many of those things will carry over into Penumbra and will help you be raid ready for June for the Penumbra DLC. Second thing is that if there are any mistakes, feel free to correct me down in the comments below. I'm trying my best to get this out in a timely manner, as many people are asking for this video, wondering how I got to 700 week 1. This will obviously require a lot of luck, but there are ways you can get around such luck, as I will explain later in the video. So if you're watching this right now, I'm going to assume that you're at least 650 light, just as an easy reference point to start at. It is most efficient to level by having all three classes, Warlock, Hunter, and Titan, because Bungie changed the light level system a little while back, making it so that you will not receive milestones or raid rewards after you finish them on your first duplicate character. So for example, say you have 2 hunters, you finish all your milestones and stuff on your first hunter, then you're trying to level on your second hunter. You will not have all your milestones or raid rewards available on your second hunter that week, just because of the way that they changed the light leveling system. So when you begin leveling, you want to make sure that you do your favorite character last, so it'll be the highest light when you are done leveling by the end of the week. One last thing to add is that during this whole leveling process, you are not required to wear your highest light weapons or gear to receive your light rewards, your light upgrade rewards. As long as you have your highest light weapons and armor in your inventory, it will give you the benefit of the drops. Alright, now here comes the fun stuff. The very first activity you want to do when you begin leveling on your first character is you want to do Scourge of the Past. Until you hit 670, all Scourge drops should be 8 to 10 above your power level. After Scourge, you want to do a Last Wish raid. After you finish Riven, save your Ethereal Key for your last character. That means you do not have to do Queen's Walk unless you're helping a friend or something. When you're doing these raids, you want to remember to pick up and finish the raid bounties from Hawthorne. These are powerful drops that will help your initial jump from 650. The raid bounties will be +3 above your power level. What you do next depends on what drops you received from the raids. At this point, if you are in need of armor, you can do one of a few things. If you need a helmet drop specifically, I would recommend doing the Synthesizer upgrade bounty from the Drifter, because it is a guaranteed helmet drop. This may change weekly. At the time of this recording, I don't know if the armor piece changes weekly. The other two sources for armor are Ada's weekly armor drop, which you get from completing 2 frames every week, and then the Dreaming City. Unless you are also in need of a specific weapon slot, which you can pick and choose from Ada, try to hold off on doing the Ada weapon bounties for the weekly armor drop. Out of the 3 armor sources, unless you're in need of that helmet drop, I would recommend doing the Dreaming City milestones, because the majority of the time it pulls through for armor drops. If you're on the contrary and need weapon drops, you can do one of a couple of things. 2 ways that you can get guaranteed weapon drops are by doing the Ada weapon frames, assuming that she has the frame that you need, or by doing pinnacle weapons such as the Recluse, 21% Delirium, Oxygen SR3, or any other pinnacle weapon that you might have laying around. You can also use any exotic quests that you have laying around from year 2 and beyond as a powerful drop. All pinnacle weapons and year 2 exotic weapons will drop +3 above your light level. Be careful where you use these drops, because you will only get them once. A lot of the new pinnacle weapons are only powerful one time. All the exotics will remain powerful once on each character. Either way, you only get these drops once per account or once per character, so make sure you do use them wisely. And as far as we know right now, if you want to save these pinnacle weapons / exotic quests, you can save them so that they are powerful in Penumbra. That way, again, you will have a little bit of a boost towards your light level before the raid in the next DLC. For the rest of your first character, it really is just a mix of luck. Most of the drops left on your first character will be +1 drops to your light level, Make sure that you do complete all these milestones before switching to your next character, and don't forget about the weekly spider bounty and the drifter weekly bounty. If this takes you multiple days to get through one character, you will have a good amount of prime attunement built up as well. The best way to use up all your prime attunement and get prime engrams is by farming the tier 2 reckoning. Prime engrams are based on a kill timer system. Yellow bar enemies or ultras, whatever you want to call them, count for 18 to 20 regular ad kills, making them the easiest and best way to grind out prime attunement. You should receive a prime engram roughly about every 100 yellow bar kills. Prime engrams can also come in really clutch if you're really stuck on a certain piece of gear that is severely underleveled. Prime engrams drop 4 to 7 above your power level and are the best source for light jumps after you reach 670. You should definitely try to juice out all your prime attunement before you switch to your second character. You will receive daily prime attunement for each character every day at the daily reset. So by this point, I'm going to assume you've finished all your powerful bounties, raids, milestones, and prime engrams. If you've done everything that is possible to receive powerful loot from on your first character, it is now time to switch over to your second character. When you switch over to your second character, you want to make sure you transfer your highest light weapons from your first character. This will give you a light boost without even doing anything. Ideally, you would want your weapons to be your highest light pieces before you make the switch from your first to your second character, just so it would be more beneficial simply because you can't transfer or infuse armor from your other characters. So again, make sure you transfer the highest light items you have before you start your second character. The first thing you want to do when switching over to your second character is get gear drops. Again, the best way to do this is by completing all your Dreaming City powerfuls. If you don't manage to get a full set of gear, continue to do daily milestones slash farming prime engrams until you get a full set. Ideally, what you're aiming for is to get your gear even with the weapons that you just transferred from your first character. Because any weapon drops that you get on your second character will likely not be higher because you just transferred over from your first character, which is a higher power. Make sure you are patient with this part. I got screwed over with it a couple of times, but again, be patient. You want to make sure that your armor is about even because it will provide you with the most benefit later. So once you finally reach the point of having your armor about even with your weapons that you transferred from your first character, you can now do raids, which will give you big leaps in power. When you do get to that point, make sure again that you do start with Scourge, then do Last Wish, again saving your Ethereal Key for your last character. Another reminder that you want to do the raid bounties that Hawthorne has, as they will give you a +3 drop on your current light level. The big jumps in power from these raids will more than likely create gaps in your character's light level, having a piece or two of armor / guns that are under level compared to the raid drops that you just got in the other slots. This is exactly what you want because from here on out you can fill those gaps with other dailies / milestones that you have left on that character. If your drops don't align the way that you want them to, you can always dig into your rank up drops from Crucible and Gambit. Every time you hit a new division in both Quick Play and Gambit, you will receive a powerful drop. You will also receive powerful drops from resetting your rank in both of these. One ideal tip, if you are adventurous enough, is to play Comp, specifically because you receive a powerful drop every time you hit a new sub-rank in Glory. This makes playing Comp much more advantageous than ranking up in Gambit. Another nice thing about Comp is that while you are receiving Glory rank, you also receive Valor points. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 strategy that you will get both Glory points and Valor points at the same time. Again, only if you are adventurous enough to go into the pit that is the competitive playlist. So by this point, I would assume that you have burned through everything on your second character, making sure you do all the things that I mentioned for the first character. Again, make sure that your weapons are the highest light possible before switching over to your third character, because having higher weapons rather than armor is going to give you an advantage when you switch characters because you cannot transfer armor. Starting the cycle again on your third and last character, again, you're going to want to start out by trying to get armor drops. I would recommend doing the Dreaming City. Make sure you do all those drops. If it doesn't work out, then you can do the helmet upgrade from the Drifter, or again, doing the armor drop from Ada. But if none of those work out, and it is a very slim chance to on your third character, start digging into some miscellaneous milestones and pretty much just pray for armor drops. If it doesn't work out in your favor, again, you can burn through your prime attunement. You'll get some each and every day, making sure that you just play the patience game because you have a whole week to get through 3 characters, which is actually a good amount of time. And again, I just want to emphasize that you do not have to do this entirely in a week if you don't want to, but this is more of a guide directed towards those who like to gear up for world's first races and such. Once you've attained enough armor to make sure that your armor and guns are at an equilibrium, start doing your raids. This time, when you do get to Last Wish though, feel free to burn through your ethereal keys. It should give you some extra drops. Hopefully you get an exotic out of one of those chests. That would definitely be a nice and extra boost. After you've done your raids, you want to start burning through your prime engrams, maybe a pinnacle / exotic quest, crucible / gambit rank ups, and the rest of your powerfuls that you have left on that final character. Make sure you go all out on your third character because those are going to be the last light drops that you get before reset on Tuesday. You will have a few milestones reset towards the second half of the week, which is why I really want to emphasize playing patient across all 3 characters is going to be really beneficial. If you take 2 or so days for each character, it will allow you to get more prime engrams and maybe a daily reset on characters, giving you just an extra couple of drops. It could help you out, you never know. There are a few things I want to touch on in a second, but that's really about it for the leveling guide. So if you guys did enjoy this, please feel free to share the video, leave a like on it, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really does help more than you guys know. YouTube is weird sometimes. I don't want to get into all of that. But yeah, this is the strategy that I've been using for leveling and would recommend this to anybody who likes to be competitive and race in the world's first races when new raids release. The next one we're getting is with the Penumbra DLC in June. We don't have an exact date for that yet, but I'll be sure to let you guys know what's up with that. Some other things that I'd like to note is that there are a couple other methods which I didn't mention for leveling simply because they are infrequent or not around at this time. A couple of examples would be Iron Banner bounties, Shattered Throne in the Dreaming City, and any other event that offers powerful rewards. Again, I would like to reiterate that this leveling guide should prove useful when Penumbra releases in June. I don't think anything's going to change, but if it does, I'll be sure to let you guys know, do another prep guide, stuff like that. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss that. If you guys have any questions about anything I mentioned in this video, please leave it down in the comments. And if you want to catch this stuff live, make sure you guys follow my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Sweatcicle, or you can find the link in the description of this video. Again, thank you guys so much for watching and the support, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.